All right, welcome back to One Bills Live. Chris Brown, Steve Tasker, and Bills offensive tackle Spencer Brown joining us here in studio on the show. Player interview appearances on One Bills Live are presented by Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the Buffalo Bills. Spence, you had a long weekend after the Thursday night game. Did you get a chance to do anything fun? Or
I laid down for about 90% of it. Just laid down and watched movies.
That short, compressed week really puts a lot of demand on the body, even early in the season. So you're just looking to get off your feet when you come out of that game, right? Like,
absolutely. It's a lot to put on the body and mentally just trying to get ready for a new team. But, that short week, some guys might dip out or go to Toronto, but I was laying down and hanging out.
Yeah.
I believe
How
it.
the game? You came out of the game okay? Everything?
Yeah, solid for the most part.
I know
you
were hampered. One of the things that bother you once in a while is your back. And what is it something they keep you in therapy? They give you exercise and stuff like that?
That's just something you come in every single day and activate, and they have
out,
they have a system and exercises you need to do every single day. So it's just bread and butter and taking care of the body.
Yeah, it's part of the prehab they do here. It's not rehab, it's prehab.
They gave you today off as well. A little bit of a calf, he said.
Yeah, because first drive was kind of got a little weird on me during our last game, but it should be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at this offense through 3 games, I remember we had Connor in here with us during training camp. We were out at Fisher, and we asked him, hey, what's a young guy on the team or a new guy on the team that's really impressed you? And he couldn't have said Jackson Hawes' name fast enough. Mm-hmm. And I know, you were a tight end back in the day, 8-man football, but what are your impressions of Jackson thus far? Because it's clear that Joe Brady has no problem using 13 and 12 personnel, and you guys are playing bully ball with just about everybody.
Absolutely. Hawes is just from the jump, spring training into fall camp. I wasn't there for the beginning of it working with him, but just what he was putting on tape was very impressive. And get a lot of rookie tight ends that'll come in and put their hand on the ground and bully around, 6-7 year defensive ends in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, when he's lined up next to me, I have full confidence, and it's just like another offensive lineman out there almost.
And we're talking like advanced blocking techniques too, like climbing, hitting your target, driving. Like, he's not like, you get some tight ends nowadays that are catching 80 passes a year in college. They come here, they got work to do.
Right.
He seems much more advanced in that line of work for the tight end.
It's not just like, hey, block this guy and pray that it works out. There's a lot that goes into it. I know Boris works those guys extremely well, very detailed. So he's just taking the coaching extremely well and believing the techniques. That's another thing that guys battle when they come in here. They're learning a whole new thing that they were used to for 4 years in college.
Right.
And, he just came in and done everything he's been told to and excelling. So.
What's your offensive line room think about all the 3 tight end, 2 tight end stuff you're doing?
I think we're a fan of it. It's working. It's working pretty well.
Fans, right?
And, there's some schemes that we've been running quite a bit here in the first couple of weeks that we didn't run a lot of last year just because we weren't efficient at it. And now that all those boys are rolling in the tight end room, it's working well.
So talk about that a little bit, Spencer, because I'm curious. I would say one of the bigger changes with the run game is how much you guys have diversified it. Like last year, you guys relied on a lot of the duo stuff and the tackle pull stuff with you and Dion, and that was kind of bread and butter for you guys, and you were really good at it. So yeah, if it works, keep going. But it looked like Coach Cromer and Coach Brady kind of huddled up in the lab in the offseason, and while they want to diversify, you guys still have to be good at executing it. But how much do you feel you guys have capably expanded the menu for Coach Brady to call on a given game day?
I think it helps out a lot just schematically going against teams now with the tackle pull and the duo and stuff like that. You can only run that so many times until the defense will put their foot in the ground and then say, we're not running this again. So now that you have 2-3 tight ends in the game, you can run those plays, but then also you can see Hawes can catch, Dawson can catch, Dalton can catch. So it's just you can run those plays, build up. Oh, also we can send these 3 guys on a route as well. So it just comes into play with every single scheme we're trying to put out there. But having those 3 guys working really well with us is a huge advantage.
Yeah, you're one of the teams. It felt like, and I don't know how it felt to you guys. You get into the Jet game, and of course you get up from. They struggle to score against your defense, but you get in the Miami game. Those guys have got some firepower on their offense. And of course, Baltimore game was an absolute roller coaster of a ride. But you get into this game against Miami, even the Jet game to a certain extent. You feel like you've got another gear. We've seen this offense have another gear. Josh Hobbs, obviously, you went through in the last 5 minutes of the Baltimore game. You shifted that gear and put your foot on the gas. but you're scoring 30 points a game, even though it doesn't feel like you've really hit your stride yet. You guys have conversations like that?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I was hanging out with Dalton at his house sometime this week, but it was just like, dude, if we have like 2, 3 and outs, it feels like we're like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
We're not used to coming off the field after 3 plays, but Brady always preaches that get 1 first down, and then that will set you up for the rest of the drive. So really the hardest part of a drive is just getting it started, getting the ball rolling. And then once you do that, you can start dipping into other buckets of how to attack, and instead of just 3 plays, we got to restart again. So just getting the ball rolling, and best way to go about that.
And then what would you – so we've already talked to you a lot about 12 and 13 personnel. So I actually went and looked it up. So when you guys are in 12 and 13 through 3 games, you're averaging 7.2 yards per carry. That leads the NFL. So, yes, it is very good. But to your point, you're going to get to a point in the season where Coach Brady, I'm thinking, might be like, hey, we got a few tendency breakers in the game plan here. And you've already mentioned, like, how many different variations you can spin off of the run game in 12 and 13 because you got 3 guys that can catch. I mean, do you guys feel that in some ways you can remain unpredictable even in those sets because of all those variations that can come off of it?
Yeah, I mean, the variations help a lot. And even as the season goes on, we'll see how people are trying to scheme against us and how to, stop the things that we're doing. And then we'll start throwing in little wrinkles as well, I can do I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to start giving stuff away. But that Brady, Chrome, and Boris, I mean, they're heads together, and they said they spent 2-3 days together over this bye, looking at the past 3 games and things that we can switch and make better. So I'm looking forward. It should be still rolling.
That's awesome. Time now for this week's Timbits Timeout question for Spencer. It's presented by Tim Hortons, where we ask the fans to ask Bills players a unique question. This one comes from Andrew, and he says, we all know you have a farming background, and we know Josh Allen also grew up on a farm. Do you guys ever talk about farming, and are there any funny farming stories that you can share? Well, do you talk about farming, first of all? Has that come up ever?
I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but it's not like a mainstay in our conversations. Yeah. But there is one story, but I don't think he'd want me to say it out loud. So
not suitable for air?
No, definitely not suitable for the air. But there's a lot of that goes on out there. It's a very natural world.
So Josh used to always say that the most challenging work on his farm was laying irrigation pipe. Because you get a hot summer day, and you got to lay that pipe. That metal is hot, obviously. You got to wear long sleeves, or you're going to get burned. What would you say was the hardest task on your farm growing up? What was the most challenging task?
We never had to lay irrigation pipe.
Lay irrigation?
No, there's rain out there in Iowa.
Yeah.
That's God's country.
Apparently.
But probably the worst thing that I hated doing was walking beans or chopping thistles.
Soybean we're talking here? Or?
Yeah, like you just
road field rows, take weeds.
Yeah, it was. So you do the crop rotation. So one year it's corn, 1 year it's beans, so it flips flops. But there'd be stray kernels that end up on the ground, and then when summer comes around, they start growing. The corn stalks will start growing with the beans. So you go out there, and my dad would just drop us off at like 8 in the morning, and be like, "Be back at noon." You just have a water jug, and you're just walking around a bean field for 4 hours.
So you're hand picking. And what do you got? A satchel over your shoulder to just put it?
No, you just pull the plant, and lay it down.
You just pull it and lay it down, let it dry.
Chop it and throw it down.
Okay.
And the thistles, that was the more annoying part because you'd have to take the buds off of every thistle, put it in a bag, and then chop the plant out.
Yeah, because the thistle's got all the seeds, and you don't want those germinating.
Once all the seeds
I
go,
did that as well.
it's gone.
Yeah,
It's annoying.
So that's just a really tedious time.
Irrigation pipe is actually a little easier than that.
Just because you just got to screw it together and walk away.
You don't even have to screw it together. They pop together with a gasket. Just slide it in and move on.
I'm gonna let them know.
Southwest Kansas knowledge.
I'm gonna let them know they didn't do anything out there.
Well, Spence, listen, thanks for taking some time, stopping by. We appreciate it.